say about a year ago, maybe 9 months ago, my wife and I were going for marriage counseling, and one of the issues in our marriage was finances. I'm the primary breadwinner, and my wife is a stay-at-home mother, and she had issues with how we were making decisions on what we would spend on and what we wouldn't. And my issues were, well, we've got to stay within a budget. We can only spend what I can bring home and hopefully save a little bit too. And yet we're spending more than we can afford, which was a big worry for both of us and put a strain on the marriage. And so while we were in our counseling and we were going back and forth on different suggestions, my wife suggested, why don't we work with someone who is a coach who can help us with setting up a budget and making sure everyone's concerns are being addressed. And we've tried to do this before without someone helping us, and we could really use the help. And that, combined with the fact that my wife was going to start working and she had concerns about what her money would be used for, and she wanted to make sure that she would be able to enjoy the money that she's earning. So those were the two factors that made us want to come for coaching.
And what made you reach out to myself, to me?
Well, my wife had a connection with you. I don't know exactly how she met you or how she got you as a reference, but she reached out to you and then she brought me into the discussions.
And what was your response about stepping in?
Well, I felt that it was definitely worth a try, that this is a sticky topic, a difficult issue where we could really use the help. So I wanted to see, what would your approach be? What kind of suggestions would you have? And is it something that makes sense, that I feel like I could identify with what you were suggesting that we do?
And how did you feel it went now that you're a few months past the process of what we went through?
I think the sessions were very helpful. It really helped put things in perspective so that my wife could understand my concerns and why it was important to recognize the overall situation and the importance of staying within what we can do versus what everyone around us maybe is able to do, or the money that other people are bringing in. And I felt that you really were highlighting some of the key things that we needed to keep in mind. But I guess because it was coming from you instead of from me, it was sort of a lot less. Sometimes she would get upset about certain things, but a lot less so than if it was just my opinion about something. It helped to have somebody else who's neutral, who can speak to what's going on and what it is that we need to do.
So can you talk more about the part of like everyone else versus us, like you and Pam? Can you speak more about that?
Sure. Well, I consider us fairly wealthy, and certainly by national standards, we're in maybe 98th, 99th percentile, but it's all relative. So compared to where we live and the high price of homes and the cost of living, we're maybe average, maybe even could even be below average. We don't have our own driveway. Our house is not the largest house in the neighborhood. So there are definitely many people that are, at least to the outside, appear to be doing better financially. They have more means, more money available, and they can afford to spend a lot more money on clothes and on vacations than we can. So I feel it's not helpful for us to compare us to people that have more available or have different life circumstances. We need to make our decisions in light of the money that we can make and what our position is and what we're prioritizing.